Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, let's do a quick recap of an amazing week. Wall Street rebounded from the previous week's retreat with a nearly 2% advance over the last 5 days. The benchmark S&P 500 is now only 0.8% from its record intraday high. It was a week marked by steady gains, geopolitical tensions arising from developments in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, chip giant Nvidia quarterly results, and a furious rally in Bitcoin that has seen the world's largest cryptocurrency flirt with the 100,000 price milestone. We also received Gary Gensler's resignation announcement, the subsequent vault of XRP to over $1.60, and Archer Aviation, my personal number one pick, added nearly 47% over the past 5 days on no real news releases to finish at just over $6 per share. Nvidia delivered quarterly revenue that nearly doubled year over year and data center revenue that climbed to a record $31 billion. However, the world's largest publicly listed company's current quarter revenue outlook came in lower than some of the loftiest expectations, and for investors used to an absolute blowout report, that sent shares falling after hours on Wednesday. But the stock rebounded on Thursday and eventually ended higher, with analysts focusing on its exceptional numbers. Okay, so for the week, the Dow added 2%, 44,297. S&P 1.7% to 5969. NASDAQ added 1.7%, 19,004. And the Russell 2000, check out the small caps, guys, up 4.3%. The VIX lost 5.6% to finish at 1524. What S&P 500 sectors are leading the charge right now? Consumer staples up 3.1% and materials up 3%. Under commodities, crude oil up 5.7, now over 70 a barrel at 70.7. Gold added 5.8%, 2718.2 an ounce. Natural gas vaulted another 10.6%. Thank you, Jordan, for talking me out of that trade. 10-year bond yield stands at 4.411. Under Forex and cryptos, Bitcoin added 8.2%, Ethereum 6.7%, and XRP 42.4%. Top gainers in the S&P, SMCI up 78%, top loser, Target losing 18%, and I still don't care. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has made big promises to fight obesity with nutrition instead of popular weight loss drugs. As Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, he's positioned to shake up the booming weight loss industry. Kennedy's ire for big pharma could be an opportunity for startups in the food as medicine space. It could also affect who gets access to drugs like Ozempic and put pressure on drug makers. I'm a supporter of this initiative, the plan to make America healthy again, and it's a refreshing change from arguing about pronouns and letting men that think they're women into the ladies' room or compete in women's sports. I'm also very tired of seeing 70 ingredients in my chicken sandwich. Wall Street learned Friday evening that Donald Trump is preparing to announce Scott Bessent, who runs macro hedge fund Key Square Group, as his nominee for U.S. Treasury Secretary. This is like double good news for Uncle Frank. I mean, who's not going to miss 78-year-old Janet No Tellin' Yellen? The inflation is transitory girl, the girl who accepted $800,000 to do a couple of Zoom calls for Citadel when she was between jobs. The girl Stanley Druckenmiller said made the biggest blunder in the history of the Treasury by failing to secure low-cost government bonds before the Fed started increasing interest rates in early 2022. How is this double good news, you ask? because not only is ass pump Gary Gensler gone in 58 days as chair of the SEC, he is also being passed over for his dream job as U.S. Treasury Secretary. So what does Uncle Frank think of billionaire hedge fund manager Scott Bessent? Well, you already know your boy hates most hedge funds. This guy was a protege of George Soros, which I find particularly nauseating. But Bessent was a major economic advisor and fundraiser during Trump's presidential campaign and is a supporter of Trump's tariffs policy. He has also advocated tax cuts, market deregulation, increased energy production, and is an advocate for deficit reduction. So I like all that. So guys, as always, I'll present the facts, give you my take, and let you make up your own minds. I'm not wild about this guy yet, but let's face it, P. Diddy would be a better Treasury Secretary than Janet Yellen. From Reuters, fund manager Bessent scores double on Trump victory. As a money manager, Bessent's years of inconsistent performance have contributed to a nearly 90% decline in his hedge fund's assets. Now, with other business lines expanding, he has scored on perhaps his biggest bet yet, President-elect Donald Trump. Bessent spotted what he called an anomaly in the market, that political and market analysts were too negative on what a Trump victory would mean, and this is according to a letter to clients in January seen by Reuters. His key Square Capital Management put on bets that U.S. stocks and the dollar would gain, helping earn a double-digit percentage profit so far in 2024, with November as its best month, according to a person familiar with the situation. Speaking of Treasury Secretaries, did you know the 43rd and former Treasury Secretary Rosie Rios sits on the board of Ripple? And when asked the question, what do you think about cryptocurrency as a form of currency? She immediately pointed to XRP and said, it's one of the few cryptocurrency options out there that has incredible and legitimate use. So financial institutions use it to settle cross-border payments. Yeah, that's my kind of girl right there. This slide goes out to my mentor, Barry. We are currently exploring a pre-IPO investment in Ripple. Stay tuned. And now I'd like to review some of the potential catalysts for Ripple's XRP as I see it. The official exit of Gary Gensler on January 20th. The final conclusion of the SEC versus Ripple case and current appeal, a more favorable crypto regulatory environment, at least 4 XRP exchange-traded funds in the pipeline, mass adoption of RippleNet by global banks and institutions, the proliferation of Ripple's new stablecoin, RLUSD, the Ripple IPO itself, Elon Musk's new payment platform on X, formerly known as Twitter, which could include XLM and XRP to some unknown degree, and the wild card, what percentage of Swift's business can Ripple XRP capture? That's a $5 trillion a day business, by the way. My number one crypto pick over the past 5 years, XRP, has been doing great recently. Not investment advice or advisor. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any security or cryptocurrency. But the coin recently got to 160. I believe it will top its all-time high of 384 and get over 6 in 2025, which will make it the second largest crypto, passing Ethereum, but still under Bitcoin, which it has done before in the past. And yes, Uncle Frank just bought this dip to 145 at the time of this recording, and we'll be looking for any weakness ahead to buy more. God only knows where we'd be on this and other trades if we never trusted Adam Aron with our investment in AMC. Okay, guys, now pay attention because things can get funky real freaking quick this coming week. On Tuesday, November 26th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll see consumer confidence and new home sales. But at 2 p.m., we'll get minutes of the Fed's November FOMC meeting. But on Wednesday, the 27th, the entire financial world will be waiting for the PCE data group to come out. This is the Fed's favorite indicator, and the results could set the tone for the December rate decision and, needless to say, have a profound impact on the markets if it comes in hot. But drill down with me for a closer look at what's actually coming on Wednesday. Will you look at all the shit we're asking the markets to digest on Wednesday, the day before the Thanksgiving holiday, with the S&P near its record high? 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, initial jobless claims, then durable goods orders, advanced U.S. trade balance, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, GDP, and then at 9:45, the Chicago Business Barometer, that's PMI. Then at 10 a.m., personal income and personal spending, and then they drop the entire PCE index data group, and of course, pending home sales. Guys, don't be caught flat-footed on Wednesday. Have your correction shopping list ready in case we get a significant pullback. You never know. Not investment advice or advisor. Be ready for anything, especially in this geopolitical atmosphere, which we'll discuss more. Now, both the stock and bond markets will be closed on Thursday for the holiday, but this Friday is also Black Friday, so the stock market will close early at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and the bond market will close at 2. Typically, on Black Friday, the market usually experiences a slight positive trend, with the S&P historically showing a small average gain, although the day tends to have lower trading volume due to the shortened trading session. However, the performance can be volatile and depends heavily on retail sales reports released around that time. I will remind you, there is nothing typical about the season we are presently in. This slide goes out to Paul Malignaggi. There are still plenty of potential black or white swan events lurking out there, but this is rapidly becoming the one I'm most concerned about. Ukraine becoming global war after Western long-range weapons used against Russia. President Putin issues warning to the West. We will act decisively in cases of escalation. And then Russia strikes Ukraine with intercontinental ballistic missiles for the first time. On Thursday, President Putin issued a stern warning in the wake of Ukraine launching long-range strikes on Russia's territory utilizing newly approved U.S. and U.K. long-range missiles. Biden had to greenlight the use of American-made missiles being launched into Russia. There are only 58 days left of his presidency. Is he trying to start a war before he goes? And now look at this from Zero Hedge. Terrifying infographic shows reach of Russia's new hypersonic missile. London in 20 minutes. Guys, don't think that this response can't happen this weekend just because Trump has been elected, or on Wednesday when PCE drops, or on Thursday while you're eating turkey or watching football, or on Friday when the ladies are tearing up the malls and breaking the internet shopping. Anything can happen at any time under these conditions. I can't wait for this clown to finally pack it up. From Zero Hedge again, just when you thought illegal immigration couldn't get worse, Biden does this. Not intent with starting a third world war before he leaves office, Joe Biden, or whoever is running the country, is making it even easier for illegal immigrants to get into and stay in the country. The New York Post reports that the Biden administration is quietly loosening immigration policies before Trump takes office, including letting migrants skip ICE check-ins in New York City. Who knows how many dangerous people are already circulating in the nation right now. Guys, what is going on at our nation's largest bank, I ask you? JPMorgan Chase has now paid more than $40 billion in total fines and settlements to regulators, enforcement agencies, and lawsuits related to anti-competitive practices, securities abuses, and other violations. That's according to new numbers from the Public Violation Tracker, a corporate misconduct database that tracks cases from the year 2000 until now. Me and Donahue George visit it every day. In the last 7 quarters alone, JP has paid a whopping $2 billion to settle a list of accusations against the banking giant. The bank has paid the sum to settle accusations of criminal misconduct, regulatory violations, market manipulation, and alleged involvement in enabling Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking activities, among other alleged illegal and ethical breaches. Late last month, JP wrapped up 5 settlements at once with its U.S. regulators, paying $151 million to settle allegations including misleading disclosures, breaches of fiduciary duty, and prohibited trades. After the flurry of settlements, JP says in a new regulatory filing that it's now facing several hundred open legal cases. What kind of bank are you guys running over there? I don't know if I should open a checking account or get a lap dance. The case involved a mix of government actions, such as those brought by regulators like the SEC or the DOJ, as well as private lawsuits such as class actions. JP says it generated $49.55 billion in profit in 2023. Yeah, that's great, unless you're paying out $40 billion of it in fines and settlements, Jamie. Is anyone getting censured here, suspended, fired, arrested, indicted, anything? Or do we just resume cheating and stealing after we settle all this? Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. That's right, guys. It's time to talk about my number 1 pick for 2025, Archer Aviation, not investment advice or advisor. We are going to be flying in electric cars in 2025. That's right, I said it, 2025. The FAA hasn't made a new classification for aircraft in 80 years. That means this can be a 1 in 100 year opportunity, something new, a disruptor. Let me show you why. So how about taking an Archer Midnight from New York City to Newark Airport in 10 minutes instead of driving and parking or taking an Uber or cab? Ask your friends that live in New York how perilous this simple journey can be. Archer may have that rare opportunity of becoming one of the most elusive things in the business world, an adverb. That's right, guys. Just like you might Uber downtown or Google an unfamiliar word, someday soon you might Archer to the airport or Midnight to the Hamptons from New Haven across Long Island Sound. What city in the U.S. has the most public use heliports in the United States? The Big Apple, baby, with 3 in Manhattan alone. Archer posted this on LinkedIn yesterday. Electric air taxis are one step closer to soaring over New York City. Congratulations to Archer partner Skyports Infrastructure and Group ADP on being selected by the New York City Economic Development Corporation as the operator of the downtown Manhattan heliport in New York City. Together with our partners, United Airlines and Southwest Airlines, we are expected to work with New York to help electrify the downtown New York City heliport and bring quieter, more affordable electric air taxis to New Yorkers. Have you ever had to drive around LA? This city is known far and wide for its ridiculous traffic. The company's new air mobility network aims to ease traffic congestion and cut travel times with 10 to 20-minute flights to key destinations, such as Los Angeles International Airport, Orange County, Long Beach, and the University of Southern California. Additionally, Archer says it's in talks with the LA Rams to explore the development of Veriports at Woodland Hills and Hollywood Park, a roughly 300-acre district centered around SoFi Stadium where the Rams and Chargers play. The Midnight, Archer's piloted 4-passenger electric aircraft, will be at the forefront of the initiative, capable of speeds of up to 150 miles an hour and designed for back-to-back flights of 20 to 50 miles with minimal recharge time. Midnight operates 100 times quieter than a helicopter at cruising altitude with basically zero emissions. Face it, guys, practically no one outside the investing world knows anything about this shit. Can you imagine the excitement in Los Angeles when people start seeing these things flying around? How about when celebrities start taking selfies on a Midnight flying from LAX over to the studios in Hollywood? California has 170 hospital helipads alone, 190 corporate ones, others for police, fire, agricultural, and private use. Are you kidding me? Guys, are you telling me tech executives aren't going to take advantage of flying from San Jose to South San Francisco in 10 minutes instead of driving an hour and 15 minutes? Or how about this for a third date? Flying a Midnight to Napa Valley in 10 minutes instead of driving? It's like chartering your own private plane for a fraction of the cost. This thing is the official replacement for the light-duty helicopter and is far safer too. Should you buy Archer Aviation stock while it's below $9? That's from the Motley Fool. Why Archer Aviation stock is soaring today. Do Redditors think that Archer Aviation has a big upside potential? And from Seeking Alpha, why Archer Aviation's recent gains are just the start. Why is the financial press gushing over this company? Because this startup has over a $6 billion order book. That's why. That's the weekly chart for Archer on your screen. Look at last week's green candle that stretches from 4 to 6. We still have yet to take out highs of 7 in mid-December of 2023 or 750 in late August of the same year. Archer closed at 604 on Friday, gaining 26 cents or 4.5%. So for the week, she added nearly 47% and over 97% for the month. Now, if there's a sell-off or serious correction before Trump's inauguration, pre-revenue companies like Archer could get thrown out with the bathwater. So I'll be watching the whole numbers to the downside for a bottom or support. 6, 5, 4, possibly 3 again. You never know, but more specifically, in the meantime, based on a Friday 6.04 close, I'll be looking for support to the downside at 5.78, 5.52, and 5.30. To the upside, be watching for resistance at points 626, 648, and 674. Guys, I'm hoping the next big thing we hear out of the company is that our new high-volume manufacturing facility has been completed on time and on budget. It's located in Georgia, adjacent to the Covington Municipal Airport. I can say that with confidence because Aviation Week Network published an article November 8th titled, "Archer to Open Georgia Factory in Coming Weeks." Archer says it has nearly completed construction of its mass production facility in Covington, Georgia, where it plans to begin manufacturing type-conforming Midnight eVTOL air taxis beginning next year. Located on a 100-acre site adjacent to the Covington Municipal Airport, the 350,000 square foot facility is on track to open, quote, in the coming weeks, Archer's founder and CEO announced on the company's third quarter earnings call. The factory was built, quote, on time and on budget and at a cost of $65 million. With construction nearly complete, The CEO reports Archer plans to begin installing manufacturing line equipment by year-end, with the first assembly line to become operational by early next year. Ultimately, he says the plant will be capable of churning out up to 650 aircraft per year. The Midnight eVTOLs being built in Covington all will be piloted and type conforming, meaning they are entirely representative of the aircraft Archer plans to type certify and operate. Some of the initial batch produced next year will be used for the startup's FAA type certification campaign, while others will be used for piloted demonstrations and market survey flights in international markets such as Abu Dhabi and Japan. The first type-conforming Midnight, meanwhile, is being manufactured at Archer's initial production facility in San Jose, California. Chief Tech Officer Tom Muniz says the aircraft is in the systems integration testing phase and almost complete, but he held off on declaring a firm target for an initial flight. Previously, management indicated plans to fly before year-end. The CEO explained that Archer is moving at a methodical pace because it is manufacturing conforming aircraft that eventually will be carrying passengers and therefore must be built to the highest safety standards. Archer's main rival, Joby, by contrast, has rolled out several pre-production prototypes, but has not yet indicated when it plans to build a conforming aircraft. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.